Hello, 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 everybody. Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. Wow. Okay. Mama Homestead #1 in here tonight. Hello, Prayer Garden and chat. Hello, hello, hello to you, girl. Hello to you. Much love. Oh, there's much love, PG. All right. Miss Justice #2. All right. Brat #3. Yes. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. We are your army. To everyone in chat needing prayers, she's sending them up for you. God bless. God bless. That is #3. Homestead #1. Miss Justice #2. Brad #3. And our bucket list has holes is #4. All right, girl. Hello, PG Mods in chat. Summer, we love you. Hey, girl, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. God bless. God bless. You guys are beautiful. Hey, Sue, how you doing? Beth Ann, there you are, girl. I see you. Let me get down through here. Oh, that is beautiful. Summer Moon, we will always be your voice. Amen. Amen. Oh, our bucket list has holes. Those are so pretty, so pretty. Hey, Karen, how you doing, sweetie? Purple hearts. She says, hello, everyone. Hey, Patty, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. And I'm getting down through here, you guys. That's right, Beth Ann, right? No summer, no peace. Amen. Let me see. Oh, hello and welcome everyone coming in. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Amen. Absolutely. Hey, Peanut, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you, Jersey. Butterflies, how you doing? Samantha, there spread love. Amen. Hey, Duncan, how you doing? Good to see you. Riding solo. All right. Good evening, PGOA. Purple hearts for summer. God bless. God bless. I appreciate that. I wanted to talk about the. Hey, there's our Australia. How you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you could join us. God bless. Wanted to talk about the septic tank. Okay. You know, I've been thinking about that septic tank. And really that could be relevant. That could be very relevant. I mean, it could be very, very relevant because see, I don't think that Fred, I do not think that Fred, I'm going to show you guys some, I've got a key tonight. I've got a key. Okay. I'm going to bring this key up. I'm going to bring the key up once I explain some things, about the septic tank. I'm going to let you guys hear Mary, Don's sister first. Let's hear Mary.
Well, I called TBI Friday, and I had told them some stuff that I remember back in August that my dad had told me about, I don't know, a month or so after Summer went missing. And so I called TBI and let them know, and then they let the head agent or whoever he was, they let him know, and then he called me back today. And I told him about what my dad had said. My dad had told me that Donnie told him that he didn't trust Candus, and that he thought that she put Summer down the septic tank clean out on the property.
Okay. You heard Mary say that Donnie told his dad, that he believed Candus put Summer in a septic tank clean out. Okay. That's what supposedly, Donnie said to his dad. I believe it. I believe Donnie did say that to his dad. Now, let's also remember Don Wells went down to Fred's house, right? And stayed there. Like that night, June 15th, 2021, he's down there, right? Hiding. Candus is up there in the house hiding. But Donald don't choose to stay in the house and hide with Candus. Don goes running to Fred's, parks his car all the way down there too, and runs down there and hangs out at Fred's the whole night. And over, the next few weeks, where can we find Donald? We can find Donald at Fred's. We can find Donald at Fred's house quite a bit, right? During the search and everything. We can find Don down at Fred's house. I mean, he was becoming Fred's new best friend, hanging around so much, right? During these time. Okay. Now that we have that established, we're gonna look at some other things.
So Candus was seen that day walking off this driveway. One of my friends, he come to see me that day, and I was gone. That was before the law come in the holler. And she was walking off my driveway before someone was reported missing. And then when about septic tank, I got thinking, well, I grabbed the septic tank on top of the hill up there. They got talking about her puppy in the septic tank or something there, and I got thinking, what if he put her in that damn septic tank? What am I going to do,
Yeah.
Everything goes through your head.
Yeah, because there is a septic tank. Yeah.
It is. It's crazy. See, I've done septic tanks before I built a house. I got my septic and everything already in. And the leaves is do whatever,
It is exposed. It's pretty easy to get to.
Yeah, this driveway goes right by it up there. If you're going up on the hill, up there was the house. We were somewhere, and somebody mentioned that, she said that, or Dawn or somebody said that she'd put her in a septic tank, and I was like, that bitch burn up.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking,
Okay. He says that Candus was seen coming off of his property. Now, like I said, Chad Arnold was the one that came in Ben Hill and seen Candus at Fred's house. And Chad said she was in the vehicle. She was inside her vehicle. She got out of her vehicle to talk to him. She got out of her vehicle, and he could see Grandis or no one was in, at least the front part of the vehicle. No one was in there. And as far as he could see, there was no one in the back of the vehicle as well. And she said Summer was missing, is what she told him. He said that she was down there between 3:30 and 4:30 is when he came in. Was somewhere between 3:30 and 4:30. He doesn't have it on the money. He's just giving a wide range of, it was this time, then it was that time. So it had to be between this time frame. He wasn't, looking at his watch and taking notes. Which you should. You should. If someone tells you, something happened, right? Like someone's missing, you should write down the time they told you. You should, clock that in and keep it in case you're asked later. If you see a young child, walking alone, going past your home, you should look at the time, in case something happens. You could say, well, the child was going by my house at such a time. I have, a camera system, if you do have one. If you do have a camera system, it's much easier for law enforcement to go back on your camera system if you've got a roundabout time that, they can focus on. So they don't have to go through so much, to get it. You should always write down the day and the time in case later you hear something, you can say, oh, wow, okay. Just certain things, some things, you need to, hopefully you don't have to, but, ever use it. But if you did, in the future, it's there to be had. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was out last night, right? I seen a young girl walking. Actually, I was at a big shopping lot, and there was a really weird, like super weird guy just hanging around, lurking. What he was doing. He looked so unkosher. And I seen a young girl, right? And she was walking with her baby. She had a baby, and she was walking pretty late at night, heading obviously to her home. And so I could see, where she was heading. So, instead of just driving on, I stopped and I stayed stationary to make sure, that she got to her destination without, this guy maybe, coming out of somewhere and attacking her, because, she had to get away from the shopping part of it, and into the big street and into her area. But, I made sure that I kept an eye on her and the child until, they were safe, where they were to their destination. And, that's what people should do. That's what, what God put us here for, to watch over one another. Well, what would you do, PG, if something did happen? I tell you, I've been all over that guy, right? I've been all over him. There's a baby there, and, and this young girl, they don't deserve to be attacked by people. Nobody does. So if I seen something, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be doing something, right? I'm going to be doing something to help. Absolutely. All I can. Because, that's what God wants us to do on this earth. We should look out for one another, you should always, if you see a young girl, walking like that, somewhere unsafe, you should, just pull aside and just pull aside and make sure that they get safely, to where they're heading. You see a child, by itself, running around, just keep an eye, surveillance the area around the child, make sure there's no one, unsafe, watching it or around it or doing anything. Just, we should make sure one another's safe in this world, right? But the point being is, Fred is saying is he has a septic tank. Now I hear somebody saying, down there they're, really put into the ground and this and this and this. Well, we don't really know. We don't know what kind of septic tanks are on there because, this is really old properties. God only knows what, and we don't know what kind of, um, a lot of people, a lot of people, you know, um, reconstruct, right? They reconstruct things, um, do a lot of mending to stuff, you know, and change things up, you know, make their own form, right? Their own form of something. So we don't know exactly, we can't go on um, a Pacific type of septic tank because people actually, um, do make changes to things, right? What I'm saying is, it's like a vehicle, for instance. You take a vehicle, you say, well, it was a such and such, and those kind of vehicles don't have this and don't have that. Well, a lot of people, add lights under cars. They add kits around them, right? They add, um, you know, paint jobs. They add tattoos to the car, all kinds of things. You can't go off the standard. You can't go off the standard because people make modifications, is what I'm saying. And so I don't know. I haven't been on Fred's property, checking out his septic tank, so I don't know what his septic tank looks like. But obviously, he feels that Candus could fit a child in there, right? Obviously, he feels that this could be done. So, must be a pretty big hole if he feels a child could be put in it, and he would know better than us. He lives on the property, right? Or did live on the property. So you got Don saying that Summer's in a septic tank. You have him down at Fred's house, watching the septic tank, right? He's guarding it. Where better to be and make sure no one comes than the place where the child was put, right? Makes perfect sense to me. Perfect sense to me. Now, I want to talk about a few things, you know. I'm not going to tell you guys that I got something new, you know. We've always got new stuff here. We've always got new stuff here. But I don't do clickbaits. I don't say, hey everybody, I got something new and get a ton of people in here and but I do got something. I got some new stuff tonight. I do got some new news. I think we found the key to all of this. I think we might have found the key. I I don't know. Fred could Fred very much could have, Fred very much could have kind of solved where Summer is. He could without even knowing it. I'm going to tell you, Fred is really a loose cannon, right? He is like all over the place. Um, He makes a lot of things up. And, you know, I heard him one time talking to Ziggy. I can't exactly remember what he said. You know, I don't know. I do not know what he said, but I do know this. I know that Ziggy was like, you know, she could not believe I couldn't believe what he said. I don't even remember what he said, but I couldn't believe it either. And even Ziggy's like, whoa, that one's just too far fetched. You know, she was thinking it. Her expression showed it. And she's like, you know, and she repeated it. And I had to laugh about it. I had to laugh because it really was. It really, whatever he said was so far out there, you know, you're not bringing it back. Right? That was like, oh God. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but it was just funny as hell. Right? But he really did do it. He did. I'm not lying. And Ziggy's face was priceless. And then when she repeated it, it just made me laugh even harder, right? Because Fred tells some big tales. He tells some really big stuff. And and he makes a lot of things up. And I don't know why. I don't, you know, well, I think he makes a lot of things up, you know, to try to keep people interested. And I think that, you know, he's trying to help Ziggy's channel. And I think that, you know, like Jody Sue, you know, Jody Sue, I don't think she's got one freaking iota of what happened June 15, 2021. I don't think she knows shit about what happened to Summer. I really don't. I think she just threw herself in the mix, you know, for the financial gain, the financial factors of everything. You know, she's like Benny Keys. She saw, you know, an open door to some funding and she went for it. And, you know, and she's been going for it ever since, right? She's been going for it ever since. And, you know, she ran for that open door and she act like she knows all these things and she don't know jack nothing. Now, she is very informed on, you know, the things that were happening, you know, on that hill, the 5 short years that Summer was there and all the abuse was going on, you know. And Jody Sue kind of added to that abuse, right? She kind of added to it. You know, she said that Summer was a brat and she comes crying for a towel and, you know, in her birthday suit, just getting out of the shower, you know, with Donald, right? She doesn't bother to call 911. What the heck you doing, you know, with this kid in the middle of the freaking day in a shower, for one. She doesn't contact Child Protective Services. Hey, there's some weird stuff going on over here, you know. This just ain't normal. She does nothing to help. And I'm sure she knew a whole lot more, you know. She act like she just found out that, you know, the kids were being sedated and Andy was the supplier, right? She act like she just found that out after he put a ring on another thing, right? Then she was like out telling it all on Andy. And, you know, she was highly upset, right? I mean, didn't ever put a ring on her, but he stuck one on the other woman. And boy, that didn't sit right. And so she was going, you know, she told some really dark secrets, right? She told some really dark secrets. And I think those dark secrets were truth. If you ask me, I think they were truth. And, but, you know, point being is, she does have a lot of information, you know. I mean, she's pretty much informed us, you know, of how tragic that hill was and the abuse upon that hill for, Summer, other little girls, and even the boys over there. So, that was a big plus. That was a big plus, for her to be out, because we did get a lot of information. Went through hell getting it. I think Jody Sue is one of the hardest people in the whole world to mother freaking listen to and try to figure out exactly what the hell she's mumbling, right? What she's mumbling. But, you know, um, we did it. We did it. You know, um, kudos for us, right? We done it. But it was no picnic, for sure. But June the 15th, 2021, I don't think she has any idea what went down June 15th, 2021. And I'm starting to think Fred doesn't either. I'm starting to believe possibly Fred might not either. I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's like a toss of a coin, right? It's like a toss of a coin. I don't know for sure. But whatever went down did go down at Fred's house. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Whatever went down that day went down. When Candus came back out of that driveway after returning home from Hunter's house, she came back out of the driveway before Summer was ever reported missing. The second time because she came out 3 times that day, you guys. Now, the second time she came out, she went to Fred's. We know this. Why? Because Chad Arnold saw her there. Chad Arnold saw her. And there was no Summer. Between 3:30 and 4:30, there's no Summer in the car. No Grandis in the car. And Candus is sitting at Fred's. Now, I think that's what leads law enforcement to believe that she's still in the area, that Summer's still in the area. Is because Candus didn't leave the area after, she takes this video 10 minutes from the house. Grandma's at the house when, Chad Arnold comes in and sees Candus by herself at Fred's house between 3:30 and 4:30. Now, I'd say it's probably between 4 and 4:30. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I had a timeline. Hey, little Dave, I see you. God bless. Yeah, I heard about Williams. Being in court. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. There's some people kind of want to connect him to Summer's case. I don't know. He was going down for a lot of stuff. He's going down for a lot of stuff. But Mm, I don't know. I just, I wouldn't think so. Um, I wouldn't think so that he would have had anything, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I like to get the opportunity to talk to him. You know, I might try to do that at some point. Um, but I don't even think he would know the wells. I don't think he would even, know anything about Ben Hill Road. He was more isolated in a kind of a different area. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on a second, you guys, because I have to I have to get I have to I forgot to bring a piece of content in. So I'm gonna pull that out real quick because I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Zelda almost got away from PG. Um, Member for 15 months. All right, Justice for Summer. Thank you, PG, for all you do. Hey, girl, I appreciate you being here and supporting the channel. God bless. God bless. But anyway, let me pull this up. Now, first of all, within the first few weeks before Summer came up missing, they shaved Summer's head completely bald, right? Had her dancing around a for sale barrel. Um, that same day, Dawn and Candus took Summer off somewhere. They took her off somewhere, you guys. And, we don't know where. We don't know where. Um, Donald started driving the Subaru one day before Summer went missing, fired Dudley, his co-worker, right? And the very next day, Summer comes up missing. Don also states that he knows she's going to come up missing, right? He says they shave her bald, have her dance around this barrel, took her somewhere. Don says he knew she's coming up missing. He starts driving a different vehicle, fires his coat. Come on. I mean, that tells it all. His actions tell that it was pre-planned, premeditated, carried out June 15th, 2021, right? I mean, whatever happened to Summer, and that Don's actions show that, him and Candus knew this was coming down and prepared for it. They prepared for it. They was setting themselves up. So, that's just like obvious. That's just obvious right there. Now, here's what I wanted to show you guys. Candus calls Candus at 10:30, right? 10:30, she's at Hunter's house. She runs over to Hunter's house about 10:30. Grandma says, come pick me up. Well, it takes from Hunter's house to where they're picking up Candus, takes about a good 10, 15 minutes to get over there. So, they arrived to pick Granny up, right? About 10:50. About 10:50, they're picking Granny up and putting the boxes in the back so Hunter can get in the passenger side of the car. They're moving the boxes. Around 11 a.m., 11 a.m., they're pulling out of the parking lot of the emergency room, or, the care place that Granny was seeing. 11:15, they go to a smoke shop, right? About 11:45, they're at another smoke shop, right? I mean, they spend a little time because Granny needed cigarettes and a few things. And, Candus doesn't jump out of a car in a run, right? She doesn't run to do things. She's like a sloth. She's real slow. Candus takes her time. She's one of those, take me time people. And she's real slow at doing what she does. So, they at 11:45, they're at another smoke shop, right? Because they have to drive from the one smoke shop to the other smoke shop. Then they're spending time in these smoke shops. One of them, they're actually, getting twisted teas and vapes and picking out stuff, and that takes time. So about 12:15, they're at Walgreens, right, dropping off the prescriptions. And about 12:45, they're at a swimming hole, right? They're at the swimming hole about 12:45. And then around 1:20, they're back at Walgreens, right? They're back at Walgreens. Summer is now on the on the driver's side of the car. She's on a pillow. Summer is in the car on the driver's side against the door, soaking wet on a pillow. Hunter is in the back seat behind Candus, which, the boxes are in the bed of the truck now because he moved them. He said he moved them to the bed of the truck, one on the floor and then the other one's in the back bed of the truck, so he could get in. Well, those boxes reappeared when they needed them to prop Summer up and to block the window from people being able to see into the vehicle. So, the boxes was, a double dividend. It kept people from seeing through Candus's side, of the window. And they also, wedged in the milk jugs and everything to help hold Summer in place back there. So, like I said, it's a double dividend for those milk jugs and them boxes. Now we have 35 minutes left to get milk at the store and Hunter home by 2:30. But wait, We still have not went to Sonic's, right? We still in the line at Sonic's. So 4 slushies later is about 1:45 p.m. Now we have 25 minutes to get to the store, pick up the milk, and get Hunter home. At the store around 2 o'clock. 10 minutes left to grab milk and hit the road because it takes 20 minutes to get back to Hunter's house. Okay. And meet the 2:30 arrival, right? To get there and be there at 2:30. They only had 10 minutes to get into that store, get what they were getting, and come back out. So I don't think they got anything except that milk, to be honest with you. And that's because they needed something cold. They were looking for something cold. So they grabbed milk to lay her on, right? To put her on. That's what they were looking for. I mean, it would be real suspicious if she was on ice, right? If she was up on some ice, that would have been suspicious. So they grabbed a couple of milk jugs, ice cold milk jugs, and bring them back out to the vehicle. I don't think they got any groceries because I don't think they would have had time to shop it to get no groceries at all, right? So now I'm pretty sure that Hunter's house is where Summer was cleaned up and dressed because, you know, that's where she had to be. He said that, you know, after they left the swimming hole, she's on that pillow soaking wet next to the door when they went back through Walgreens and they went through Sonic's and they went to the store. Now, when they got back to his house, that's when, and he even said they put the milk in the bed of the truck, right? He wasn't holding no milk. They put it in the bed of the truck with the boxes. When they got to his house, they took Summer into his house, and that's where they cleaned her up. That's where they cleaned her up and redressed her, in my opinion. They had to. There's no other explanation for it. None. So I say Candus was arriving back a little later than we think. I think that she went into Allison's house and to do all of these things. She was leaving Allison's place more towards, you know, more towards around 2:45 to 3 o'clock. She was leaving Allison's place and heading back home. And it takes about, if you're driving really fast, you know, you could be there in probably about, I'd say 38 to 40 minutes. If you're driving just regular, you know, trying to, you know, not get no attention on you, you know, no attention on you. If Popo's sitting somewhere, you're not looking to get any attention on you. It's probably about, I stay still about 40 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe 45, to get back to Candus's place from Hunter's. So, so she would have been arriving back on Ben Hill Road a little later than we thought. She would have been coming back into Ben Hill Road more like, more around 3:30 to 3:45. She'd have been coming back. So that makes sense. That makes sense because she would have took Grandis up on the hill, dropped her off. She'd have came back down off the hill. And, you know, and not only that, but listen to this. Listen to this. Laura, the day that Summer came up missing, was you at home or was you with Fred?
I was with Fred. We was hauling cars.
You were hauling cars that day. And
Yep.
so Chad was at your property?
He come in while we was going to the crusher, and
And he said,
he seen Candus at the end of the driveway.
and
He
what
said
time
that was started up a hill, and she turned around and looked at him and said, "Do you know if they're home?" And he said, "Well, their truck's not there." And said she turned around, walked back down there, and got in her truck. Didn't even knock on the door, nothing.
Wow. Y'all feel like the
Oh, so, and what time was that?
I think he said it was about 3:30 or 4, probably about 4:30.
Now, see what I said? She said that they saw Candus. They saw Candus. Laura said that they passed Candus and Grandis around, between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, heading back to Ben Hill Road from Hunter's house. They were going. She said her and Fred was leaving to haul the cars when they passed Candus and Grandis heading back about 10 minutes down the road. They seen Candus and Grandis heading towards Ben Hill Road to go home. And they saw it was Candus and Grandis in the vehicle. So that's about the time the video was made as well. That's about the time the video was made also. So now here's the thing. They are heading out of there. If Laura and Fred seen Candus and Grandis, then Candus and Grandis saw Fred and Laura. And Candus saw an opportunity to get home, get up on that hill, drop Granny off, right? Drop Granny off and run down to Fred's house. And she possibly did. Because her and Don, Laura told me that Candus and Donald came up there quite a few times, even with the kids. They were at Fred's house. So, Candus really looks around people's property, right? I mean, Candus sees everything. She got those eyeballs, her and Donald, they got those eyeballs that are always, searching and looking for everything. I mean, these are people who've learned to scope people's homes out, right? They know how to scope people's homes out. And, they have a need to know. So, with that being said, I'm sure that Candus knew, that septic tank was there. If it was that easy to see, like Fred said, of course she did. And here's the key thing, right? Here's the key thing. Well, this ain't the key thing, but this is what went on. June 15th, 2021, right? Candus and Hunter and Summer happened to be together. They happened to be together at that swimming hole. And then the next time we see Summer, she looks like this, right? And we know Allie lied. Allison lied. Hunter lied. And Allison lied. I mean, we can see it better now than we did before. And Candus lied, right? Candus lied too. And Chad seen Candus down at Fred's house. No Summer. No Grandis. Grandis was dropped off here. In her little camper. And that Grandma and Candus, if Fred and Laura saw them, they saw Fred and Laura as well. So now Grandis and Candus know that Fred and Laura's gone. That they're gone. Their place is open. It's down there isolated and open for anyone to go upon. Summer didn't ever get out of the car. I don't believe this baby ever got out of that car. She was in that car when Candus went back off the hill down to Fred's. Now, she knows Fred and Laura's gone. Did she go down there? Did she go down there to the septic tank? Did Candus go down there to that septic tank. May have. Donald said that Summer's in a septic tank. He told his daddy she was. That he believes Summer, Candus put her in one. I mean, and Don's been to Fred's house a lot. And he would definitely know about that septic tank. Was that their plan? Was their plan to, to get this done? Now Hunter lied. He said he hadn't seen Candus, Grandis, or none of them for over a year because of the dispute between Allison and Candus over Jose. But right there, you could see that Hunter was up there on the property around Summer. That's him. That's him standing behind Summer there. That's Hunter behind Summer. And you could see her head shaved. And her head was shaved only about 2.5 months before all of this went down. So Fred's septic tank was empty. I don't know. I would have to, I haven't ever seen a video. I ain't ever seen no video of Fred's septic tank. Ever. I ain't ever, those suckers have to be cleaned out. And I doubt if it would be empty. I will email to you, PG. Hey, I appreciate that. Please do. Please do. But Hunter definitely had seen Summer only like weeks before she disappeared. Because, she shaved bald and he's behind her. Now that, this right here was the going haircut. A lot of women, a lot of little girls, a lot of people was getting this at the time. This particular style. And you can see there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of little girls go to school with this haircut. I mean, Summer didn't mess up her own hair or want it shaved because of her brothers. Those were lies. They lied about the reason they shaved this baby's head. I don't know, I don't know what the hell they were exactly thinking, and when they did this to her. I don't know. I mean, this is disgraceful. And Candus lies. You can clearly see, right there's the basement door, you guys. You can clearly see Granny's camper where Candus and Granny was at. Nobody came up there. Nobody came on that property without them seeing. And there was a big dog right there under that hole that just had pups. Nobody was going to come up there to that door trying to take a kicking, screaming 5-year-old child, 40-pound kid down the side of nowhere and get themselves broke. And, I just don't believe this. I don't believe it at all. This is a big circle, and that camper, you could see everything. Grandma could look out that door right there and see everything. Nothing that she can't see. And what she, if there was anything she couldn't see, like, a freaking cricket or something in the grass, she would hear it, right? She would hear it. But if it was big as a shoebox, she'd see it. Definitely. She was always wearing them specs, right? She was always wearing them specs. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the Wells house, right? Look at this. There's a lot of weird stuff. This is pretty weird because that youngest boy is dressed up like a girl right there. I mean, straight up like a, look at Don. Look at Donald. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know, if you ask me, purr is all over his face, right? It's all over his freaking face right there, man. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Who the hell ever looks like that? But look at this. Look at this. And that definitely is the youngest boy. And they something going on there. I don't know what's going on there, but they something weird going on there. You know? Absolutely. Something just, whoa, that's not normal. And look at him. I mean, really? Would you want that looking at you? Jesus Christ. There you go. I don't think anybody want that looking at him. I mean, this guy is, he's freaking criminal from day one, right? Criminal from day one. As you can see, none of the boys' hairs were cut. Summers was. She's cut bald right there. She looked very sick. She looked very, very sick right here, you guys, before she ended up on the milk jugs. I think, I think something happened and they couldn't take her to a doctor and they took her to a hospital. They go to prison, right? They go to prison. So I think, they took the coward way out. I think they took the coward's way out. I think they went to that swimming hole and took the coward's way out. Obviously Don Wells knew. He knew right here that, something was wrong and they couldn't wait much longer. They wasn't going to be able to wait a lot longer to, do what needed to be done. So they didn't end up in prison, I guess. That, Summer's already looking sick, right? She's looking sick. And he starts driving the other vehicle around. Like I said, he's driving the other vehicle to cover his ass. Little Summer ends up on the milk jugs, right? Look at her. God have mercy. Look at this. I mean, they go up to Utah and put up some kind of, tombstone type thing for her. And then, and then now they got the memory bench. I mean, this, and Don said we'll see her in the resurrection. And Candus said, my boys are still here. They're still alive. Summer always be with me. I mean, how much more could they tell us that Summer is passed away and they know it, right? But here's the key. Right here's the key, you guys. The box. This box is the key. Because look right here. Right here, Summer Moon Utah Wells is dressed. Completely dressed, you guys. She's completely dressed. She has clothes on. The clothes she was wearing ends up in this box right here. Now I'm going to tell you, I thought to myself, I'm not saying that Fred and Laura, I'm not trying to say that Fred and Laura ain't capable of, possibly getting themselves involved in something they shouldn't. I'm not saying that, they're the smartest, the sharpest tools in the shed, the smartest kids in the class. I'm not trying to say that they're the brightest light bulbs, right? Not at all. They're not the brightest light bulbs. They're not the sharpest tools, and they're not the smartest kids in the front of the class. No, they're not. And very well, with what we know about both of them, we know they could probably get themselves mixed up in some really interesting shit, right? Capable of possibly doing about anything. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't think that Fred and Laura would be hauling a child off with no clothes on. I really just don't think they're going to, I'm going to tell you, these two are pretty messed up, but they're not that messed up, right? They are not that messed up. Absolutely not. I mean, what I'm saying is, I started thinking about it and I said, if Candus would have been down there handing Summer off to them, Summer would have still been dressed in all of those clothes, right? She'd have been dressed in all of those, those clothing that we saw her with on 10 minutes before, right? Because what if law enforcement pulls Fred and Laura over? They ain't going to want to have a kid with no clothes, right? It's bad enough having a kid, and possibly a kid that ain't with us no longer. But they're not going to be hauling no kid with no clothing. That's BS right there. They're not that stupid. Absolutely not. No way. I'm going to tell you something. Why would you take the clothes off of a child? Why would you do that? So that the body will diminish a lot quicker. If you put them in a septic tank or something, right? If you put them in a septic tank, or, some people pour lye, they've used lye and pour on top of, that's why they remove the clothing. That's why they remove the clothing. And I'm going to tell you, Candus removed Summer's clothing. So Fred might be onto something. When Candus and Grandis saw Fred and Laura, maybe they found, maybe they rushed to the house. And then Candus, rushed down to Fred's. Well, Laura and her, she felt it was safe. She just seen them leaving to go scrap. And maybe she did go down there and put Summer in their septic tank. She may have. And Don Wells told Daddy about it. And that could be why Don Wells was down at Fred's house, hanging at Fred's the whole time they're searching. Maybe that's why when they did that, that secret search, remember, they popped up. Don wasn't expecting it, and they popped up. He was on his way to work, and law enforcement and all of them pops in there, and they're going to do a search. And Don just like, oh my gosh, did you see a look on his face? And he kind of angry because he wasn't informed that this was going to happen, right? It was sprung on him. Do you remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that. If you remember the deep dive search that they did, and Don looked all crazy. He looked all crazy. Put a 1 in the chat. I remember it. I absolutely remember. Man, I'm going to tell you, I can still see his face. I can still see the look on his face. Oh, man, he was like livid. I remember asking him, ain't you going to go on to work? All right. Ain't you going to go on to work? He said no. He wasn't going to work. Well, that might, if Summer wasn't somewhere in there, Don probably go on to work, right? Why would he stay there? If Summer's nowhere in that vicinity, why didn't he just leave? Why didn't he just take off? He wouldn't have to worry. They could search all day long. But he was very concerned, and he didn't go to work. He stayed home. Why did he stay home? Could it be because he needed to make sure they wasn't going around Fred's place, around Fred's septic tank? I mean, I hate to say it, but Fred might have found the answer. By sheer coincidence, he may have found what it was, exactly what they did. I don't think Fred really thought about that early on. I really don't think he, thought about that. It's hard to believe someone would come on your property and do something like that. But see, Fred underestimates Don and Candus. Don and Candus will do about anything. And, so Fred probably didn't want to even think of it. I mean, he didn't even want to, he was like, nah, they wouldn't do that. But now that he's had time to think about it, it's like, oh, damn, maybe they did. Maybe they did, right? And they could have. And you know, Don did tell his dad that he felt they can't. I think Don is pretty truthful with his dad, right? Don likes his dad. You know, he liked his dad. He went trucking with his dad. You know, he felt a real bond to his dad. He, you know, when he wasn't calling no one else, he kept contact with his dad. And, you know, and he told his dad that he thinks, I mean, he didn't, you know, he didn't want to come straight out and tell his dad, but he says, I think Candus put her in a septic tank on our property. You know, no, I think Candus might have put her in one on Fred's property. And if law enforcement could have, you know, if law enforcement could have got a hold of all of this earlier, they may have been able, you know, to salvage something for prosecution. I don't think they're going to salvage anything now. I don't think they're going to salvage nothing now. Maybe that's why Don and Candus feel so, you know, maybe that's why they're feeling so assured of themselves. Maybe they're feeling super assured of themselves, right? Because they know that by 3 years later, there's nothing left. There's nothing. Inside of a septic tank, oh, there is nothing. Absolutely not. I mean, one of those things will even turn your bones into slush, right? That might be why, you know, they feel so, you know, so safe now. I mean, for a long time, they wasn't feeling safe, right? They wasn't feeling safe. But now they are. I mean, I don't know if there's a way to possibly do any type of test, you know, with advanced technology the way it is. I mean, they're pretty damn good. I don't know if they could possibly get something, you know, some DNA around the mouth of the hole. They might still be able to get Summer's DNA off, you know, because you got to squeeze her down in there. And, you know, so her skin and, you know, stuff would, you know, scrape against there. So there's possibility there's still something that could be found if they did it. Exactly, DNA. There's possibly, you know, DNA could, I mean, it's worth a try. But if they found DNA, you know, around that septic tank of Summers, then, you know, that would be enough to prosecute on. They wouldn't need nothing else. So, you know, this, it could be possible. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you something about DNA. I mean, they do, you know, they do DNA, just one little, put it this way. They can take just one drop, you know, of a human's lifeline, just one drop. And it can be 100 years old and they can DNA it, right? If they find, you know, a cloth or anything, 1,000 years, you know, they can DNA it. Absolutely. They can DNA it, right? So I don't know. Now, you know, technology is pretty good today. Technology is really, really good. I mean, they, you know, archaeologists and stuff, you know, they find a lot of things, and, you know, and a lot of stuff gets DNA'd and from thousands of years ago. and you know, and they're able to get something from it. So why, of course. I mean, you got to squeeze her down in there. You know, there's got to be skin, maybe even, you know, maybe even some other stuff. I mean, you know, might have got a scratch or something, right? That left some stuff behind. Um, yeah, it's a very good especially knowing that she didn't have no clothes on, right? What I'm saying is knowing that, you know, she didn't have nothing on from the waist up. Just a just a little pair of shorts, right? She just had a pair of shorts on. She didn't have nothing down her legs or on her feet. She was barefooted. I mean, so if you're going to squeeze somebody in a hole like that, hell yeah, it's going to leave some DNA in the, you know, around the mouth of the hole. And it's a possibility they could still go down there and get DNA off of that, right? It's worth a try. I mean, if I was law enforcement, I would definitely see if it could be done. I mean, all they got to do is go down there and swab it, right? Send somebody that knows what they're doing, what they're looking for, and see what they can do. Absolutely. I don't know, but this box was the key. The key was right here. Summer's clothes, being in this box was the key. Right there. It shows that Candus took all of this child's clothing off, except those shorts. Right? Except those shorts. And kept them back. Why? Why? Well, there's a reason. There's a reason. And I think they was hidden up in this old bag. I think they was hidden up in this old bag before they got put in that box. If you ask me, I think that stuff was hidden in this old bag. Candus was packing around. And there's the box. There's the box, you guys. I think she transferred it from this bag to that box. And you could tell that bag's dirty as hell, man. She had that stash somewhere. That looks like oil on the bag. Looks like it was stuffed underneath. Looks like it was stuffed in a car, underneath somewhere in a car. Because, you know, have you guys ever stuffed anything? Have you ever stuffed anything up under a seat of a car or down in the tire area of the car? Have you ever stuffed anything in there? You know, like a jacket or something. You just stuff it up underneath, get it out of the way, and then when you pull it out, it's got this old stainy looking shit all over it. You ever done that? Put a one in the chat if you've ever stuffed a blanket or a sweater or a jacket, and when you pull it out, it looks like this, like it somehow oil got on it, some kind of nasty looking oil got on it. I've done it before. I've done it. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I've actually did it, you guys. And that's what it does look like. So I think she had this bag hid. Yeah, it looks like oil. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, from being stuffed up in a car, hidden, right? Hidden. That's what I'm talking about. I got stuff in my trunk right now I forgot about. Girl, I tell you what, you go shopping in my trunk. You could go shopping in my trunk. I keep everything. I keep all kinds of stuff in my trunk. Right? Pop my trunk open. It's like, you don't know what's going to pop out. It's crazy. But yeah. I think that's where the stuff was. And I think it was hidden away before it got put in this box. right? I think when she got ready to go to Kathy, she put all the stuff in the box, right? Got it out of the bag that she had hidden away, put it in the box. Let's see. This was in the box, same bag and suit Summer was wearing, right? And I think it was washed by Allison. I think when Grandis and Candus went back to Allison's, they went back to pick up this right here, and possibly the sundress that Summer had. I think Allison washed it. I think Allison washed this stuff up, gave it back to Candus and Grandis when they came back to the house talking to Hunter. That's what I think. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't think I'm wrong. You know, Allison got real weird. She got real weird, didn't she? When, you know, when Chris McDonough said, "Did they take the clothes? Do you know if they left the clothes or took the clothes?" Allison got you. Did you see how nervous she got? What are you asking about clothes? I think it's because she washed this and gave it back to Candus. Yeah, I think this did get left behind when they propped her up, you know, on the milk jugs and everything. And that Grandis and Candus went back to get it. And there's the jacket. There's the jacket. And you can tell that sucker's been washed. You could tell that sucker's been washed in some freaking, you know, some oxy shit, right? It's been super washed. Mm-hmm. She got everything up in that box. She got everything up in that box, you guys. She got it all up in that box. That box is the key. Now listen to Donald. Listen to what Donald says.
Pictures of her having that jacket or the sweater?
It's the picture of in the memory.
Now this is someone calling up Don and Candus. They're calling up Donald saying, Kathy the friend's got a box. And she's out here showing us this box with Summer's clothing and stuff in it that Summer's supposed to came up missing in. You said she came up missing in that school outfit. You and Candus both said she had on a school outfit. And she came up missing in it. But the school outfit's in the box, Donald. The shirt's in the box. The jacket's in the box. The freaking baggage suit's in the box. The sundress is in the box. Donald, everything the kid had on that day is hiding in this box. Except the shorts. The shorts are the only thing missing. Why does Kathy the friend have this box with all of Summer's clothes she was supposed to be wearing that day hidden away in it? Now, Donald's confused. He's confused because he doesn't know that the secret about the box has gotten out.
Box, yes.
Did you send me, you say that there's pictures of her having that jacket or the sweater?
It's the picture of in the memory box, yes.
The picture in the memory box?
I mean, the jacket in the memory box, yeah, the picture of it.
The picture of it in the memory box?
Yes.
Okay, is there any pictures that you can send to my phone? Because we called our private investigators, they're seeing what they could do, but they would like us. Okay, what does a memory box mean? Does that mean?
It's the box that somebody.
Do you see Candus is in the background? Candus is in the background like, freaking out, right? Candus knows what's going on. Donald, he's not in the loop. He's not in the loop yet.
Tell Candus to hold up for a minute and I'll explain to you. Okay.
You want to talk to her? You want to talk to her? Talk to her. Here, I got my Bluetooth. I'm going to give her my Bluetooth.
All right. Hey, Kathy told me it was the memory box that somebody that, supported you guys, not, you know what I mean, supported you emotionally.
It's got Paw Patrol on it and stuff like that.
Well, I don't know. I can't see the outside of the box. All you can see is Summer's name on the front of it.
Yeah, it's got a picture of, I think Chase is burning the box.
Donald says, I think this needs to be reported, right? This needs to be reported because see, Donald's still going with the story. What do you mean somebody's got Summer's jacket in a box? Who's got her jacket in a box? She disappears in this jacket. Don's like, no, this is our story. We're sticking to it. A jacket in a box. Somebody's got Summer's jacket, right? We're going to have to get, we're going to have to call our PIs. We're going to have to get, law enforcement in on this. Candus, though, she knows. She's like, what? The box with Paw Patrol on it? Candus, is like, Kathy, the friend, is just outed us. She just outed us.
And all that stuff, like Marshall and Pop up there, all burnt into it.
Yeah, it's burnt into the wood, yeah.
And then I know she's also got the family picture that Robin made there too that's got my stuff and probably some other stuff that she took out of my stuff.
Well, when she sent it to me, that was before you and her were into it, and she has, from day one that I met her or I started talking to her, I always supported you, always.
Right.
But I had asked her, I had messaged her and asked her for some pictures that wasn't already out there to put on Summer's birthday video, and she sent me a few of the pictures, like a picture of the rock that you painted for Summer when y'all were camping.
Yeah, I remember that.
She told me about the little cross, the little cross that's on the rock that you found.
Yeah.
And she had sent me just a picture of the memory box, and it's open, it's showing hair bows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want that stuff back.
Well, she had told me that you had left it up there for safekeeping until you could find Summer.
And somebody had made the memory box for Candus, and Cracking Cases. They gave it to Cracking Cases to take to Candus, and that's who gave it to her. That's who gave it to her.
No, that's not true at all. Because when I went up there the last time to get my stuff, it was not in my tote that I had. And I was wondering what happened to that, because I looked all over the house and I couldn't find it.
Oh, she said that it wasn't in her tote. Candus said that she had that box stuck in a tote. Not just, she didn't take the box and just put it in the vehicle. She took it, put it inside of a tote, put some other stuff in the tote, and put it inside the vehicle. So Kathy, the friend, had to have been going through the tote and saw the box and stole the box out of the tote, right? And she using it for leverage. She was using it for leverage because Kathy, the friend, seen, oh crap, the stuff that Summer was wearing the day she disappeared is in here. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take this. I'm going to use this for leverage. Candus has got to be good to me now. Candus has got to come back. Candus has got to kiss my backside because she's going to be worried that people's going to know about this. And if she doesn't do what I want her to do, well, they will know. And Candus, Candus didn't do what she wanted. So then Kathy DeFran put it out there, right? She put it all out there. Like, okay, you're going to be mean to me? You're going to act like this towards me? Well, I got that box, bitch, and you don't know, but I got that box. And I'm going to start taking pictures, and I'm going to start sending it to creators, and I'm going to start spreading it out there, what you don't want people to know. Right?
Well, so Summer, because from the first time something was said about what she was wearing the day she went missing, it said a pink shirt and gray pants. So I assumed the jacket got took off of her, right?
The jacket was never on her when she went.
That's what I'm saying.
The jacket wasn't ever on her when she went swimming. Candus, the jacket was on her in the vehicle 10 minutes from home when you took the damn video. After she went swimming, right? When you said she came up missing, the jacket was on her. Come on.
Had it on in the truck, and then she didn't have it on her when she got gone.
Right. She got too hot, so she took it off.
Well,
Oh, now she got too hot. She got too hot inside of a car laying on cold milk with AC running. She got too hot, right? She got too hot in an icebox freaking car because Hunter said, "What do you mean? We weren't hot. We had AC going in there." Right? He said it. He said, "We had AC going inside of there. We weren't hot. Actually, Summer was cold." Right? She was cold. I think a lot colder than we think, right?
anyways, that's what I was saying because I made a video yesterday trying to figure out where the jacket was at because they reported a pink shirt and gray pants, but they didn't say anything about the pink and gray jacket. So I was trying to figure out where that was at. And then when I was looking through, somebody had said something, and when I was looking through those pictures, that jacket is in that memory box.
And so is the pink shirt. So is the pink shirt. And so is the bathing suit. And so is the sundress. It's all freaking in there. The whole top of the outfit is in there. And the bathing suit and the sundress. Everything's in that box except the gray shorts. The only thing was not in there was the shorts.
Right. Sorry, I got a text message on my phone. I just want my stuff back. I don't care about whatever.
Hey, Jenny, I'm bringing you up, hon. If you want to close it, you can. What's going on, girl?
What's going on? How you been?
Doing good. How about yourself, sweetie?
Oh, I'm going through a little bit of medical problems right now. I have problems with my kidneys.
Oh, girl, sorry to hear that.
So I've been, sick and stuff lately, but I'm starting to feel a little better.
Hey, I tell you what, I know we'll keep you in our prayers.
And I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like they're not functioning right, or
Yeah, it come back in the blood work that something was wrong with it. So they're referring.
are they just elevated, or
Yeah.
So they was a little elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go to the store, you want to buy that there's a juice. Oh goodness. I should know the name of it too. It's in the frozen department.
Oh.
It's real good for your kidneys. It's real good for your kidneys. Man.
I'm hoping I don't have to have dialysis.
If it's just a little cranberry, that's right, cranberry. Thank you, Ruby Rainmaker. I appreciate that, girl. It's cranberry. You don't want to buy the cranberry juice in the watered down stuff in the big bottles. You want to go to the frozen department and get the concentrated.
Oh, okay.
And drink the concentrated. Have you had any type of issues where they've put dye through you to to do x-rays or to check anything lately?
No.
Okay, because sometimes that can cause some problems with your kidneys.
Yeah.
You try to stay away from that freaking dye that they put through you.
Well, wrong with my kidneys. Then I've had to take vitamin D3 because it's low. Plus, I'm on potassium because I was in the hospital over my potassium for a week.
Oh man, girl, did they put that? Did they administrate that to you through the IV?
Yeah, and it burns.
That's what burns like hell, don't it?
Yeah.
Woo! Oh my God, that's like painful as hell.
They did it one right after the other. I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a painful, very painful. You should be eating a lot of bananas and potatoes. Did you know baked potatoes have a ton of potassium? It actually more than
Really?
bananas do. Yeah, if you eat baked potatoes, a lot of baked potatoes, it'll give you a ton of potassium.
Okay.
Try to eat a lot of baked potatoes,
I
and
bake potatoes with my steak.
drink milk. Drink you know, take your vitamin D and but drink, milk, get out in the sun. The sun, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes in the sun, and your back absorbs the sun better than any other part of the body. Like put on a bathing suit that has the back out of it, or a sundress with the back out of it, and set in the sun, and 15 minutes of sunlight will give you pretty much a ton of vitamin D, your daily recommended source of vitamin D, just 15 minutes in the sun. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get vitamin D in you. Your kidneys being a little elevated could be from like a kidney infection or something like that. Did they put you on antibiotics?
No, they didn't put me on anything yet. No, I go back December 3rd, and
I'm shocked.
then she's gonna tell me, because I gotta go get an ultrasound.
Right.
Right. Kidneys to see what if they can see anything abnormal. And
tomatoes are high in potassium also.
tomatoes.
Yeah. What you want to do. What you want to do is make sure that you get your sodium, make sure you get your potassium, make sure you get your vitamin D. You might even want to add a multivitamin in there, even if it's just a Freddie Flintstone chewable every day vitamin on top of everything else.
Yeah.
And you want to definitely get that concentrated cranberry juice and drink it.
Yeah.
You might want to ask your doctor about putting you on some antibiotics, but with your kidneys being a little, if they said just, a little elevated, that's nothing to really, don't be overly concerned, girl.
Yeah.
Because that can go right back to normal.
Yeah. Well, that's good then.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah.
But keep us updated and let us know and know that we're praying for you, girl. You're like a sister to us.
Yeah, of course.
You're one of the family, so we're gonna definitely be sending the prayers up.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch you online and it don't give me no notifications. And I just brought up your name and it said you were live, and I was like, I'm going and see her.
I'm glad you did.
I've been watching all the videos that I've missed since I've been gone.
Now, God bless. God bless. Yeah, girl. I'll definitely put out a prayer request over on Facebook for you. Are you on our Facebook?
I don't think I am.
You got to look me up, girl. My mods have put it in the chat there. I'm under Sissy Bible, SISSY Bible, BIBLE.
Is that all?
No, it's 2 words, Sissy Bible.
Okay.
And look me up on Facebook and send a friend request, and I'll request you from there, and I could talk with you and chat with you through the chat on Facebook. I can call you, you can call me.
Yeah.
And and we can talk privately if you like to. But yeah, it's Summer's Facebook. I run it, and I put like all the pictures we make and stuff I put on there, and we put in prayer requests for people. Matter of fact, I just put one out for Brat. She's going through some things. She's got some stuff coming up here in December, and we're keeping her in our prayers. And that's what we do. But check out the Facebook, girl. They just Australia. I appreciate that, Australia. My mods are awesome. Brat just put it out too. Um, they put out the link to the Facebook. You just click on it through the chat there, and it'll take you to it. Send me a friend request, girl, and you know, tell me, hey, it's Jenny, and I'll be able to hit you up from there, and you could be able to keep up with everything over there too.
Yeah.
Like I was coming in tonight, so I posted it. I posted it over there that I was coming in tonight, so it'll help you know when I'm coming in and when I take Fridays off.
You know what I was
And
thinking something about I was wanted to say about Summer being on them jugs of milk. There's no way she, as cold as those jug of milks were, that she didn't like move her head, wake up and move her head. You get what I'm saying? Being on the cold, the whole
right,
stuff.
right.
I was thinking maybe cause she's gone then because there's no way she would have laid on them milk jugs without being too cold for her.
Right.
So
Exactly, girl. Exactly. Right
that's
there. Right there. You
yeah,
know, they propped her up on there. You could tell that they used her hat to because if she would have went to sleep on that, her hat would have been behind her. It wouldn't have been pulled to the side like that. They used that as like a leverage to prop her up and get her on those milk jugs the way they did.
yeah.
I mean, those milk jugs, girl, are so freaking lodged in there. Um, it's insane. It's insane. I mean, I
I
think
know.
about
No, when my daughter was younger, when we go to the store, and she wouldn't lay her head up on the milk like that.
I would think I think you're right. I think it would be really freaking hard to to do that.
Yeah, because you'd get brain freeze.
Well, do you see how the milk jug is jammed up under that box right there?
Uh-huh.
And then on the floor, there's a box where the other one's jammed, um, holding it back to hold her arm in place. I mean, this is definitely a prop. And these boxes, Hunter said he moved them to the back of the bed of the truck. He also slipped up and said they put the milk in the back of the bed of the truck as well. And that Summer was laying against the driver's side door, soaking wet on a pillow. So where did they change her? They had to change her at Allison's house because he said after swimming, when they went to Walgreens, when they went through Sonic's, and when they went through to the grocery store, Summer was against the door, soaking wet on a pillow.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
But
And when they got to his house, they had to change her because 10 minutes from Ben Hill Road, he's all cleaned up, propped on these jugs and everything. I think
Candus was too worried about Hunter that she wasn't paying attention to her in the water and she probably drowned.
I don't think so. Because in the video you see Summer swimming around until Hunter goes out there.
Yeah.
I think that Candus might have had Hunter do a very sinister deed. I think that her and Don, because Don started driving the vehicle the day before, he fires his coworker to blame it on. He said that he already knew Summer was coming up missing when he, was holding her in that picture and had took her somewhere. She was looking very sick. She was looking very poorly, girl, very poorly.
Yeah.
Right here, as you can see, she's looking real sick. They shave her bald. I mean, they lied about everything. Don Wells, started driving. He started driving, and right here he says he knew she's coming up missing. This right here was just 18 days, like 2 weeks before she actually came up missing. And, and not only that, but, he fires, his coworker. He's driving a vehicle. He fires his coworker the very next day. Come on, that's all pre-planned. And I
Oh,
think,
I
yeah,
believe too. I believe that they disregarded her too. And
I'm starting to, well, Chad came in, caught Candus down there at Fred Hill's house. I think when they came in, they saw Fred and Laura leaving, because Fred and Laura said they saw them. And if they saw them, then Candus and Grandis saw Fred and Laura. And I think Candus felt, hey, they're out of here, and I can go, I'm going to run down their house. And, she probably said, Mom, I got the perfect place. I got the perfect place to dispose of everything at Fred's house. And, because they have a big septic tank down there. And probably, she dropped Grandis off. She went down there. I bet she did get out of the car. She probably took Summer's jacket off or shirt off, right? Mm-hmm. And packed her up there and did that little sinister deed. Came back, got in the car, and here comes Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
and
I heard Candus was looking nervous, and and she told Chad that Summer's already missing. And this is between, from what Chad said, this was between, 3:30 and 4:30 when he saw her up there down the road at Fred's house.
Uh-huh.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
Yep. And I
mean, if she didn't,
that she wasn't put in one of those scrap cars.
If she did not, that's what I, if she did not put her in that tank, because see, you want to take off a person's clothes if you're going to pour lye on them, or you're going to put them in a tank like that, because it takes longer for clothing to disintegrate than it does the actual body, right?
Yeah.
So you want to strip them down, you want to strip them down before you put them in something like that. Absolutely. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But I was listening to your thing where you thought Fred knew something about it. About down there, and
I don't think she took Summer's. I don't think somebody in the chat said she took Summer's scent down to Fred's. I don't think she took Summer's scent down to Fred's. I don't think that. I think she took Summer down to Fred's. One or two things had to happen. Either she saw Fred and Laura and knew she could get down there and do that before they got back. And that's why Dawn was sitting at Friends the whole night. Or else Fred and Laura was already in on the plan, and she handed Summer off to them. And why she would take all of her clothes off at that point, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that Fred and Laura would take a kid with nothing on but a pair of shorts. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe to pass her off as a boy instead of a girl. If they got pulled over, they'd be looking for a girl, and they thought maybe with no shirt and pink shirt and pink girl's jacket, just leave the shorts on her, they could pass her off for a boy, instead of a girl. I don't know. I mean, but whatever went down at Fred's, because the video was made 10 minutes before they got home. So they had to drop Granny off at home. Candus did come back out a second time. Law enforcement told Candus she did. And they know she did. They had her on, on a trail cam, a neighbor's trail cam. So they know she came out of the, a second time. and she was
Yeah.
and she was caught down at Fred's house by Chad. And when Chad found her down there was no Grandis and there was no Summer. So Summer had to have disappeared. Grandis disappeared on the hill, but
Yeah.
Summer had to disappeared um, at Fred's.
Yeah,
Because that was her next stop before she got busted. And she said Summer was already missing. So it had to go down at Fred's house. There's
yeah.
no place else it could have.
I was thinking for the longest time that she was trafficked out into the around where they live, but probably a couple hundred miles away. Just
Right.
for the simple fact that Don said that he's been at motels where they were selling kids.
Um,
You
you
remember?
know,
You remember when he said that?
yeah, he said that, yeah, he said there was police officers at that hotel where they were selling kids. and they all seemed to clear out as soon as, you know, Don spotted them and they spotted Don. I don't believe in that shit at all. I don't believe a word of what Don Wells says. You know,
Don Wells can't tell the truth.
like Ronnie, right? And like Ronnie Lawson said, if it doesn't come out of my mouth, don't believe it. Ronnie Lawson ain't ever said that Candus, Don, or Grandis passed the lie detectors test. He has not ever said they did because they didn't, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if they would have, they'd have done showed it. They'd have done showed it so everybody out here would be for them instead of against them. They would have done showed it. And they haven't showed it because they didn't. And they didn't even go. One of the stipulations of going on Dr. Phil's show was no lie detectors test. If they had to take lie detectors test, they wasn't coming on his show. That was a stipulation. I know that for a fact.
Sounds like they're guilty right there, just saying that they don't want to take the lie detector test.
That's why Don Wells won't go on Steve Wilco. He won't go on Steve Wilco because he ain't going to get no fucking chair. Him and Candus ain't getting no chair. They're going to get their chairs through off stage because they can't pass no lie detectors test, and Granny can't either. None of them can. And that's why they ain't getting the boys back. They didn't bother to go through the Hollywood treatment of getting sober with Dr. Phil because it did them no good to go through the Hollywood treatment or any other kind of treatment to get sober, to get their boys back, because they're number one suspects in their daughter's case. And until they can clear themselves, Child Protective Services is not going to return the kids anyway. One of the stipulations is they work with law enforcement and do whatever is necessary to clear themselves in their own daughter's missing case, or the boys don't come home. And that's why the boys haven't ever came home. It has nothing to do with them fixing a house or straightening their asses up. It has all to do with clearing themselves with law enforcement, which they have not done and cannot do. Right?
They're probably happy that where they're at, and then they probably don't want to go back there.
Oh yeah, two of the boys. You got that, girl. Two of the boys asked to speak to the judge, if not write him a letter and beg him to not send them back to the wells.
Yeah, that tells a whole lot, right there.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, I do believe that Hunter is capable of doing something sinister for Candus Wells. Yes, absolutely. I do believe that. I'm going to tell you something. Hunter was an out of control human being, thinking that he's some kind of thug, thinking he's some kind of hard ass thug and able to do anything and live with it and so forth and so on. He was into getting his notches, and and in all of this shit that, you know, these wannabe thugs look to be getting. And, you know, I'm going to tell you what, you know, the meaning of a thug is. It's called stupidity. It's called freaking stupidity.
And ignorant.
Okay? You know, anybody, and, you know, and laziness. And laziness. They're too freaking lazy to get that ass up and go work a 9-to-5 job and get paid and pay their bills and live life right.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people out there that want to lay around on their asses and do evil stuff to make their money. And, you know, and they want to act like they're some kind of hard, you know, ass thugs. And they're all they do is run. Their whole lives they're running. Their whole lives they're looking over their shoulders. Their whole lives they're you know, they're fucking scared. Deep down inside, they're scared. Because, you know, they know that every breath could be their last, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be a very ignorant human being, very lazy and very ignorant to live a life like that. You're putting your life and your family's lives and everyone else's lives around you in danger all the time. You know, it's not about you.
Yeah.
Your actions have reactions. And those reactions cause actions to happen to other people. When people say, oh, it's none of your business what somebody, it's your damn business if that somebody doing the stuff's around you. It's your business. Because that person can get you seriously hurt. It is your business. Now, it ain't your business if they want to take it some damn where else and keep it away from you.
True.
Then it's not your business.
Yeah. I kind of think that's pretty suspicious of Allie's death, you know, or her being unalived. And plus her friend Leslie. I think something suspicious about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, I thought it was very suspicious that out, you know, Leslie. Oh,
Been around both of them, so
and Leslie passed away because she ended up sick. We think it might be the C word. And, you know, she just happened to, you know, fall down and go into a coma and pass away. And then, you know, bam, Hunter goes and moves in with mommy again after Leslie passes away. He goes, moves in back in with mommy. And in no time, mommy seemed to go the same way Leslie did. All of a sudden, mommy's got real sick, maybe the C word, bops her head, goes into a coma, and she's gone too. And you know, the funny thing is, they didn't seem to be able to wait to get these women cremated.
yeah.
You know, it's very suspicious to me, but you know, what do I know, right? What do I know?
They wouldn't want any evidence left behind. That's why.
Right.
If they, you know, whoever had a hand in. I think Hunter did though. He's going down the wrong road. That's for sure. He's not living life right now.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't care what's on a person's death certificate, because I have seen them have to assume. They go out and they have to assume people out of the ground and pull them back in for another autopsy. And they find out when they do the next autopsy that, oh my goodness, this person didn't pass away with what was on the death certificate. They passed away from, you know, something that they finally figured out some evil human had been doing to not only that person, but other people as well. Right? For insurance monies, for this or for that. People get away with stuff. Evil people destroy and unlive humans every day. and the coroner doesn't catch it. They put down natural causes, and there wasn't nothing natural about it. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's just, I can't believe after 3.5 years they still haven't done anything
Right.
more, Candus.
Exactly. Exactly, girl.
I agree with you on that. I mean,
I'm going to tell you, maybe they'll go down and they'll try to get some DNA around the septic tank. It's not too late. DNA stays, DNA will stay somewhere for years. They might be able to go down there and get some type of DNA if Summer was put into that septic tank. It's very possible to maybe still achieve that. I don't know. But it's very possible now that Fred's brought it out, and got it going. And I'm sure it'll be looked into. I'm sure it will be looked into because they have to follow every lead that comes in.
yeah.
So, they'll have to check it out whether they want to or not.
Yeah.
And, if there's any type of DNA whatsoever, they'll find it, they'll get it. And that won't be good. That won't be good. But PG's got to get out of here, you guys. I got to go. For the night. But we'll, God willing, we'll be meeting back up here again and finishing up with this. I've got other things I want to bring to the table. I want to talk about. And this was something to think about. It's a theory. It's a theory. Whatever happened to Summer had to happen. All I know is Chad comes in to holler. He finds Candus at Fred's, and there's no Grandis, there's no Summer. Summer's already missing. And it's only around 4:30. So, you tell me.
You gotta leave us for so soon.
I gotta go, girl. I promised my kids. Actually, I promised them that I'd be out of here in an hour and a half, and I've been here almost 2 hours now. So, I try to keep my promises, and I've been trying to spend some time with my kids and everything. I got a lot going on. So, I need to clear out and say good night to everybody and ask them
Good
to.
talking to you.
Hey, girl, it's good talking to you too. And I hit you up on Facebook.
Did you hear what I said?
I didn't hear you.
I said I love you.
Hey, girl, I love you too. You know it. You know it, right? I love all y'all. You guys are awesome. You're beautiful people, beautiful souls, kindred spirits. And, all my pleasure to be able to be here and see so many beautiful people. Sometimes you don't think there's no beautiful people left in this world, but you know what? I came out here and found out that there's a whole lot of them, girl. And God has blessed me, with all these people who truly care. And I so appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah. Well, it's good seeing you.
Hey, girl, good seeing you too. You take care of yourself. You hear me?
I will. You take care too.
Alrighty, girl. God bless. Much love.
Much love.
All right, you guys. PG's got to go. But before I do, please, please, please send them prayers up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Please keep the prayers going up for this baby. I know God is listening. I know He's listening, y'all. So please, hold your hands, bow your head, and ask to God, in the name of Jesus Christ, please, God, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, please let us find this little girl. Please let us bring her home. Let us please get closure. Let us get justice against the evil beings that could do such an evil thing to such a small little child, an innocent baby. No one should be able to do something like this and get away with it. on this earth. God, please help us. Help us to take these evil beings out the street so they cannot ever hurt anyone else the way this child has been done. In the name of your son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Listen, you guys, keep those prayers going up for this baby because I know God is listening. I know he is. And pray for Michael Vaughn. Pray for Sebastian Rogers. They're still missing. Let us pray that they are found as well in the name of Jesus. And pray for one another. So many people need in prayer. So many. And if you have extra time, please pray for me and mine. We can use your prayers right now too. I've got a lot going on. So please keep us in your prayers as well. I got to go. I got to say good night. God bless. Much, much love, everybody. Good night.